Sentry mode activated. Target acquired.
Hey there hunters, welcome back to the Gunners Guild. Now continuing on with the gunner coverage for the Rise demo, I wanted to talk about both light and heavy bowguns. Since they share ammo, there's not really much of a reason to do two separate videos. So I wanted to cover how they play, what's new, thoughts and speculations. So let's just do this. Again, another slight disclaimer, this is a demo, it's not final, it's not even all the content, so just take it for what it is right now, and then we can judge the full game when that comes out. Now as far as the controls goes, it's the same as World. In the case for light bowgun, like literally the same. ZL and ZR to aim and shoot, A is going to be your special ammo, we only have Wyvern mines still, landmines for light bowgun, or Wyvern heart or Wyvern snipe for heavy bowgun. X is going to be your reload still, and Y is to draw and stow your weapon. Now unlike World where you could press R1 to sheath and sprint, in Rise you cannot since R is bound to your silkbind attacks as a gunner, so you must press Y to sheath, which has taken me some time to get used to. You can also hold L and cycle ammo with X and B, however there's an option to change that to just the D-pad to use for your item bars, so you only have to select up and down to change ammos and then left and right to change items. This is how I have my setup. X and A to perform your melee bash for both guns, and I do gotta say the KO seems pretty potent in this demo. It's not that difficult to get at least one KO on a monster. Now for movement, light bowgun still has the sidestep and then slide after you shoot or use a landmine, which I kind of wish it didn't have. I'd rather just have a basic roll, but that's just me. Okay, so let's just talk about the two silkbind attacks for the light bowgun. The nothing personal attack, which is what I will forever call it, is performed via R and X and it takes up 2 bugs. And it's actually just a slide, you don't even have to do the fire attack. If you press fire at the end, you will do it. But you actually have options, so that's cool if you just want to use it to reposition and don't want to have that nasty reload at the end. Now when you use it to fire and do the attack, you have to be very careful on how you do it. You have to stop yourself in the middle of the glide and then press the fire button to perform the attack. You can't change the direction at all either. You can't aim or turn it or anything. Whatever direction that Wirebug is going, that's where you're hitting. And the hitbox is actually very small, so you practically have to touch the monster with your barrel to hit it. So be careful. The attack is reasonably strong enough for a light bowgun, but it can be kind of annoying to perform. And it's best used to get in close and deal damage so a monster can move and make you miss easily, because on a down monster you could just plant your landmines and do damage that way. Anyway, the second silkbug attack is for the vault. Unfortunately, unlike Bow's vault, this one does not have iframes, so you can't really use it as an evasion art like you can with Bow. Though when you do go in the air, you have a few options. You can either shoot twice, including clusters, so you can do airborne clusters and reload, that's kind of cool. You can reload in the air, or you can drop a Wyvern mine straight down. If you do this and it lands on a monster, it will stick to the monster. And that's cool and all, but mines in Rise have kind of a tight hitbox, and I was having a lot of difficulties actually detonating the mines once they were on a monster, unless I was using Pierce. Okay, let's switch over to heavy bowgun real fast. Like light bowgun, heavy bowgun plays just like World. You can walk and shoot, you got the fat rolls, you know how it is by now. What's new here is that heavy bowgun can sidestep after shooting, and it can infinitely sidestep. Like for reals, until you're out of stamina. Why is it a thing? Don't know. You can even sidestep into a fat roll if you need to. It's just fucking great. Heavy bowgun really needed that kind of mobility. The other neat thing that heavy bowgun got is the ability to charge its ammo. Now charging it takes you up to, I think, 4 charges, and it gets up to about 75% more damage per shot, which is great for ammos that need to conserve ammunition or you want to prolong your reload time. It does take about 2 seconds to fully charge a shot, and in that time you could probably shoot about 3 times. So it's not effective DPS if you have ammo to burn like our raw ammos, but if you need to make your shots count, then yeah, charging is good. You can also charge any ammo besides cluster, it seems. Not sure about Wyvern or any other ammo we can't use in the demo, but yeah, there's no special properties like ammo restrictions, kind of like rapid fire on light bowgun. It's just an addition to all heavy bowgun's arsenal. Okay, so let's go to the 2 silkbind attacks for heavy bowgun. The first is the glide, which is bound to R and A. It's basically as simple as it sounds, it just pulls you. It's a good thing to reposition with heavy bowgun, because the mobility is pretty much trash otherwise. You can also perform a melee attack after this, which is fine. I mean, I'm not really sure how many times I'm going to be doing that, but it's an option. Also, it says you can follow up with a quick sheath, but in all my times testing it, I could do a sheath afterwards, but it would only do like a regular sheath. It didn't seem any faster than normal, so I don't know what's going on there. The other R is Anchor Guard, or the counter. Pressing RX consumes 2 bugs and puts you in a counter state for a pretty good amount of time actually. It's like a 2-second that you can hold this. Now if you take a hit, you can follow it up with a shot, and you can hold that shot for a few seconds as well. Holding it sounds like it's charging up and you'll deal more damage, but it doesn't. It's the same damage regardless, so it just gives you more time to position that. Okay, so now let's talk briefly about the MOs, since it shares with both bowguns. First is that we do have some new MOs. We also can't use any MO that we didn't start with in the demo, so I can't show you any of the new MOs. We have Shrapnel MO now, which was an internal MO in Generations. It basically acted like Spread, but it explodes on contact and then sends out pellets on hit, rather than from the gun. So that could be interesting, since we have levels 1, 2, and 3 now, and it seems like it's going to be another primary use raw MO. It could be kind of cool, because it just had 1 rank before and it was internal, so we didn't really have anything to do with that. Kind of curious how good it's going to be. Now we also get Elemental MO split up, so we have Normal Elemental MO, which just hits once on contact, and Piercing Elemental MO, which will function probably like our MO we're familiar with in World. This includes Dragon MO, so we have 2 different Dragon MOs now, and they can still only be carried 3 at a time of. I'm glad we have 2 different MOs for this though, because that means we can have 2 sets of fire MO to use on monsters that, in case we run out of MO, we got some more backup there. You're not going to get stuck with, only having 60 rounds, whereas like, raw MOs can have, normal 2, normal 3, and then you get like double the rounds just in case you need to use something in a pinch. On the MO bar, you can see we have a more detailed MO list. As I expected from the previous trailer, these indicate how your MO performs. The highlighted feet show you that you can move and shoot at the same time. Cluster does not have this highlighted. The recycle is the ability to move and reload at the same time. The down arrow is for auto reload MOs, and the double up arrow indicates that you can use rapid fire on that MO. So we can quickly see how all our MOs work just from our little MO tab, which is pretty cool. Okay, so that's all the changes and what's new and all that stuff, but I will now bore you with commentary about the Rise's bowguns, and I will do that as I mess around with these hoons, so let's just start that with Light Bowgun. So I wasn't expecting much out of Light Bowgun after they showed off the weapon showcase. It looked like it was basically World's Light Bowgun with the new Hunter arts added. And that's exactly what it is. So it's kind of boring, I guess. Since we didn't really get much ammo to play around with, there's not a whole lot to do but just press R2. The landmines are so cool, but they kind of fucked them up in Rise. Like, the blast radius seems really tiny now. Like, the hitboxes are very tight. I can't plant mines next to like a toppled Mizu, like, because if you shoot him at its head and its head bobs away backwards, the explosions are going to miss. Like, come on, can you make them reach a little bit further? They just seem a lot harder to hit. Also, planting them on a monster seems jank. It's like fucking impossible to accurately aim those things when you're in the air. And what's it really achieve? Like, okay, I'm wasting my Wirebug move to attach a mine to a body part that I probably won't want to hit anyways. I just find it kind of annoying because there's nothing really new to try with Light Bowgun, and the fact that the arts are kind of boring didn't really leave me excited. It's cool that Light Bowgun gets clusters again, but now I'm getting to the point where I'm wondering why we even have Light and Heavy Bowgun. Like, seriously, they do like the same things. They took away the raw modifiers, so Light Bowgun and Heavy Bowgun do the same damage with the same MO. They can now use all the same MO except Wyvern, but big deal. And Heavy Bowgun's mobility is almost as good as Light Bowgun's now, if not better. Like, seriously, the infinite sidestepping thing is fucking huge. I feel like we could have just crashed both bowguns together and just called it Bowgun, and have it function kind of like medium bowguns where you can just piece together what you want. Like, all you would need to do is select your special MO, because we only have 3, decide if you want a big magazine and fat roll, or a small magazine and normal roll, and that's basically all the difference between the two. Whatever, I can rant on that all day. I just wanted to point out that I'm kind of disappointed in Light Bowgun because there's nothing excited there. Now, Heavy Bowgun, that's some cool shit. Sidestepping, counter, glide arts, all that stuff just cranked its mobility up to 11. It's kind of insane. Like, it's as mobile as Light Bowgun, it's safe, and I love it. Like, adding charge shots is great. It's an easy to use mechanic that can help diversify MO since you have smaller clip sizes of more powerful MO and still make great use out of it. It performs a lot like rapid fire, but you actually have the option to use it. You're not forced and locked into it like rapid fire is, which is why I like charge shots, even though I'm probably not going to use them all that much unless focus works on it. If you can get focus and make those charges a lot quicker, so if you, let's say you're carrying it down to like a 1-second charge, that is totally worth using. Now, Heavy Bowgun in general just feels like it got way more tools to play with than Light Bowgun. I was really enjoying my time with a lot of it. Even though the damage on both weapons is pretty pitiful, like I said, we're only giving like level 1 MOs and normal 2s use, so yeah, we had nothing but garbage to use, but even so, it's pretty good. And the demos aren't kind to gunners, so I wasn't expecting us to get like fucking spread 3s and stuff. So overall though, I'm really excited for heavy bowgun. Though I think only some cool hunter arts will save light bowgun, otherwise it's just going to end up being the inferior bowgun, since it probably won't be able to do anything better, not even status compared to heavy, because heavy has larger clip sizes. But again, all speculation, and we'll see what happens at release. So yeah, that's basically all for me. Thank you all for watching, and good luck out there, hunters, and whatever you may be hunting.